Why, hello, everybody. So let's make sure that this is working. It's live. And that I have some volume this week. Okay. Okay, do I have any volume? I think that we have audio. Let's see, there we go. Right, here we go, we're back. Would appear that one of my delightful daughters had set the alarm on the phone that I use as virtual webcam. This is really cool. That you can't see it because I'm holding it, but this is actually an iPhone that I've got connected to the computer to use as a webcam because it works better than the camera that's built into this ridiculously expensive computer. So, oh. Professional throat clearing. Here we go. Right, so we'll just give it a couple of minutes. Let people sign on. Professional throat clearing. Here we go. Right, so we'll live through YouTube and on Facebook, on my personal page and my business page. Any questions, feel free to answer them. It is 1 minute past 8, so I'll give it another minute or so for people to log on and see, and then we will get started on this week's topic. Whilst we're waiting for other people, how's everyone getting on? No one? Okay, just me. Okay. So whilst we're waiting, just a new swagging, like new t-shirts. It's over this side. Get these professionally printed. Super sexy masks. There we go. So no denying where I come from. And awesome new hoodies. So let me know if you want some swag. So we'll sort you out. It's not free, but it's not expensive. So if you fancy some branded swag, advertise me a little bit. Let me know. Sort you out. So, no, like I say, they're not expensive. Probably costs more to post things than it actually does to get them these days. Anyway, right, where are we? We are here, and it is Monday night. It is Facebook. It is YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, and it is time for my weekly live. And this week, as the title says, it's how to shut down that negative voice in your head. There we go. So this is something that really hits home to me, this whole negative voice thing. Struggled with it for a long time, and I'm sure that lots of people have. So it's quite apt to have a bit of a discussion about it now and see, and just see how it impacts us and what we can do about it. And we'll take it from there, won't we? So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Okay, so the whole month, taking a deeper dive into body confidence. And today I'm going to focus on self-talk. It has such a big influence over not just our moods, but also our health. So, and self-talk is the words you use to speak to yourself. Not only out loud, but in here when nobody else hears it. Okay, where it really is self-talk because you're the only one that hears it. So studies show that some people are naturally nicer to themselves in the words that they use, and as a result have a more optimistic outlook and even better health. Okay, yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? So this even includes a 50% lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease and a higher rate in other potentially life-threatening diseases. So that's something to think about. You know, a positive mind actually has a direct influence on our physical well-being. Okay. There's somebody that I know and I work with on some other projects in my day job, the desk job. He is very big in the whole positive outlook and being positive and positive thinking, positive thoughts, and the power of positivity. And he's survived some things, and he's living a really good life, and he's on a little bit. So I think there's something in that. Those of you that know me well will know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to use my segment here to name drop, but it's very apt that he's very positive, and he advocates a very positive lifestyle and a positive outlook on life, and he is probably living his best life right now. Now that he's living in sunnier climes as well, I'm sure that helps. Yes. Anyway, on we go. So where were we? Yes. So that coming on from the 50% lower risk of cardiovascular disease and things like that. So likewise, those that tend to harp on themselves or use a negative tone in a dialogue tend to have a more negative attitude and outlook on life. Yet from my own experience, I could say that if I'm being negative towards myself, or I'm thinking, everything's rubbish, then that's the way that I'm looking at life at that time. So, trying to turn those negatives into positives as much as possible is something that I definitely advise that you have a go at. Yeah. So, and this week I want to do a check-in and monitor. I want you to do a check-in and monitor the way that you speak to yourself. And if you notice that you tend to be more negative than you want to, well, it's simple. You just turn your words around. Yeah, you just change your words. Yeah. So you have the power to be positive to you and to be nicer to you. Yeah. Okay. Be damned what other people think. The only opinion about you that matters is yours. Okay. So trying to get to that positive opinion, that's what it's all about. Yeah? So I've got some tips for you coming up. But first, let's talk about why it matters. So a lot of us talk to ourselves in a way we would never speak to anyone else. And even our worst enemies. We are so critical of ourselves. We are so probably mentally abusive to ourselves, or vocally abusive to ourselves. And, most of us wouldn't dream of speaking like that out loud or to anybody else. And it matters because positive self-talk and having an optimistic attitude is linked with better health and even a reduced risk of sudden death. Stress-related illness, stress-related deaths, they are real things, and they are massive contributors to the strain on the health services around the world. Okay, so and stress-related illnesses have been around forever as a stress-induced, stress-related deaths. Okay, so this isn't something new. It's not something fly-by-night. It's been around, and we've all either experienced it or know somebody that's experienced these stress. It's something stress in their lives that's affected their physical health. Yeah. Okay. So things that I'm talking about with being a bit more positive with yourself is, believe it or not, improved immune function. Yep. Okay, so your body works better because you're sending happy hormones. I suppose probably the easiest way to explain it, throughout your body when you're being positive. Yeah. Less pain, again, because of those happy hormones. Better heart health. Yeah, because your heart doesn't have to work so hard when you're not stressed. When you're relaxed, your heart's relaxed. Lost you again with the alarm. I thought I turned it off and it was snoozing. Mind you, had a little bit of a break from my waffling, didn't you? So a couple of you around there. So where were we? Yes, better heart health, because our hearts work easier when we're not stressed. Okay, that's why when you're having a heart exam, they stress test your heart. Because they want to see how it goes. But we don't want to be stress testing our hearts all day, every day. No, we want our hearts to last us a lifetime, and a long lifetime at that. Okay, so be a bit more positive. It's nicer for your heart. You have more energy. Being stressed, worrying, being negative to yourself, it's draining. It's exhausting. It takes a lot less energy to be positive and happy. It's like smiling. It's easier to smile, uses less muscle fibers than it does to frown. You can see how much extra work I've got to put into that. Okay, I know I'm not the most positive person in the world all the time. Okay, but I'm working on it. Where were we? Yes, greater sense of fulfillment in your life. Okay, yeah, and I'm going to say it again, less stress. Being positive gives you less stress. Yeah. So the chap I was talking about earlier, I'm pretty sure his stress levels are pretty low given how positive he constantly is. So I've seen it, but it's a real thing. And that sounds pretty amazing. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, thumbs up if you do. Heart, yeah, we're talking about the heart. Give me a heart, yeah. That's it. You don't have to. I know I'm not a big emoji person either. They sneak into comments from time to time, or several times, and things, and it's because that's what the Facebook algorithm wants. It likes the emojis. Me, I can take them or leave them. I prefer good old words, good old fashioned words. Anyway, I'm an oldie, and that's what we do. So let's get off track. So let's get back to it. So sometimes you can speak negatively yourself and you don't even realize it. Okay, so there are 4 basic kinds of negative self-talk that you might, and so you might recognize some of them. Let's see, shall we? Black and white thinking. Things are either good or bad. Sweet or sour. Happy or sad. And there's no room for middle ground. So there's no grey area. They're black or white. And that's a really rigid way to look at life, because life isn't like that, is it? It isn't one or the other. Yeah. There's nearly always something in between. Yeah. In most situations, and particularly with ourselves and with the way we're thinking about it. Yeah. Number 2, personalizing the things around you. So basically what this boils down to is that you blaming yourself for everything that happens around you. Now, I am massively guilty of this one, and I probably do this on a normal daily basis, and I'm really trying not to do it. But if something goes wrong, I blame myself before I blame others, or try to. What I'm trying to do to turn that around is to look at the situation and see what the fault really is and where the blame really lies. So it's a work in progress, but we're getting there. So, yeah. Only focusing on negative situations. Now, this hits home to me and a lot of people that I'm friends with that have been through very similar experiences in life, and we've experienced some pretty negative situations between us, and we do focus on those a lot, and it's tough, and it's a daily battle, but we all get told to try and not focus on that as much as possible and to look at the positives out of it. And that's one that I'm really trying hard with now, is looking and being more positive and being less negative about things, and trying to look for the silver lining in every situation, because there's got to be, right? Or at least it's worth looking for. Nothing to lose. Anyway, so number 4. Everything feels like a catastrophe. Okay, so this is when you expect the worst from everything, or you feel constantly under the threat of attack. Now, I don't mean physical attack. I mean, everyone's out to get me. Yeah, that sort of thing. That's very real, and I think most of us have that feeling from time to time. But it's one of those. It's one of the top 4, so it's worth being aware of it and keeping an eye out for it. And maybe when you see that coming, thinking, "Well, actually, everyone's not after me. They're not out to get me. Maybe they're trying to help." Okay, yeah, you never know. It's yes. So that's yeah, and for those of us that have been through certain things, that is also another feeling that we get quite a lot, and we all work on trying to avoid that. And none of them sound like very much fun, do they? None of those 4 things. No. So this week, check yourself, and if you find that you're veering into the negative side of things, just turn it around. See, yeah. Okay. So you think, I'm starting to feel really negative about this. I'm, talking to myself badly. You'll notice this happening. Just go, hey, stop. Take a step back. Take a second. Try and be a little bit more positive. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a process, along with everything, along with losing weight and getting fit, being healthy, eating better. Doesn't happen overnight. Got to put the work in. Okay, take some time. Trust in the process. It's always worth it at the end. Okay, so here are some tips even, that will help you retrain your mind so that you can hear more positive self-talk every day. Okay, so you might notice certain things are set off. You might notice that there are certain things that set off your negative talk or your negative self-talk. So watch for patterns, and when you notice situations that make you feel negative, you can anticipate them and be ready for them. Like a tiger. It's not very tigerish, is it? So, no. Okay. Yeah, not very threatening when I do that one. Not meant to be. It's meant to be funny, light-hearted. Anyway, so this could happen at work, or maybe if you're faced with a mountain of chores at home, and when you're tired from working all day, or maybe being around negative people makes you feel uncomfortable, and you find your mood is affected. I definitely, that one for sure. If I'm in a group of other people being negative, I am negative. If I'm in a group of people being more positive, and more, yay, we could do this, more into that, I am less negative. I'll say I'm always positive, but I'm less negative. Yeah. So definitely your surroundings have a massive impact, and who you're around and how they're feeling and how they're talking will have an impact on how you talk to yourself. Okay. So bear that in mind as well. I'm not saying avoid people, unfriend people or anything like that. I'm just saying to be aware of it, and, just don't let yourself fall into the trap. So when you feel that, go and say, okay, they might be being negative, but I don't have to be. Yeah. Okay. And look for humor all around you. Yeah. So you'll usually find what you're looking for. If you, yeah. Not sure why I wrote that way. It'll come back to me in a minute, I'm sure. Okay. So yeah, and if you need a positive boost, that's it. See if I read the rest of the sentence. Find something funny. Yeah. I'm not a fan, but most people love a cat video. They don't do it for me. But most people, they see a cat video and they're all over it. Me at the moment, it's Graham Norton outtakes or Graham Norton snippets on Facebook. Yeah. That's what I get. Or, see, yeah, and that sort of thing. That cheers me up a little bit. And makes me feel less negative. Okay. Or you can go pro and you can try and find the humor, find the funny in your own situation. And there's a good trick if you can do that way. Now, in a lot of things that are making you feel down, you might find that there's a funny side. It's not always going to be a funny side, but if there is one, have a little squiz, see if you can find it. Find positive people to hang out with and follow on social media. Yeah. Surround yourself with positivity. Yeah. Music. Yeah, well, yeah, music's a good one, actually. The chap I was talking about earlier, he's devoted over, up to now, in excess of 500 radio stations that he runs. And they're all focused on making people happy. What an awesome thing to do. And he doesn't charge. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's positive. That's pretty good. See, so things like that. Yeah. Find quotes or affirmations that happen to you and repeat them when you find yourself feeling negative. I can, I will. That's my favorite one. That's what's sticking with me at the moment. It's I can, I will. So I can be happy, I will be happy. I can do this, I will do this. Yeah. I can meet my goals, I will meet my goals. Few simple words, such an awesome amount of power. And your inner dialogue is like your life's inner soundtrack. You deserve to hear something amazing every day. So if you don't love what you're listening to, it's really simple. It's like you do with the TV. It's like you do with the radio. Change the channel. Yeah. Serious. That's it. Okay. Not a lot more to add to it than that. So there is a link below. There it is. Go to that link and you can get yourself a free guide. Yeah. On some more self-confidence stuff. It's completely free. All I ask is you chuck in your name and your email, and I can send you some other emails with some more useful information in it. You can unsubscribe from those whenever you like. If you really don't want to subscribe to the newsletter list in order to get that ebook, drop me a message. I'll happily send it to you. The only caveat is you have to message me, not put a comment on the post. Message me. We need to engage. Okay. There's no commitment. It's no sleazy sales. I just want to have a conversation before I give you something. No, it's not that. No, it's just a way of controlling it a little bit. So, limited numbers and all of that. So, but yeah, no, seriously, if you don't want to sign up to the newsletter, but you still want the book on some self-confidence tips, drop me a message. I'll ping it over to you within the hour, unless I'm asleep. And then that's it. You won't hear from me again unless you want to. Yeah. So you're in the driving seat. It's all about you. So we'll just hang on for a couple of minutes. If anybody's got any questions, fire them at me. I'm hopefully seeing them on all my channels. I've got enough screens set up here. So I've got one on my phone. I've got two up there. So we'll see. I'm going to have a little sip of this is my first cup of coffee for the whole day. And those of you that really know me know that this is a massive achievement for me to be having only one cup of coffee a day, and for it to be this time of day. And then I've got my Energize. It's not Protein Works, that's Miss Brandon. It's my Beachbody supplement one. My Energize ready because I've got leg day after this. Woohoo! Who loves leg day? This guy. That's it. It's my favorite workout day of the week, actually. Absolutely love it. Biggest muscles to work. That's it. Lots of sweat, lots of calories to go down. I've kept myself in a good calorie deficit today. I've got 3 pounds left to go to hit my weight loss goal that I've been on, trying to trim down a little bit. And so 3 pounds to go. They'll be gone in the next couple of weeks, so I'm not in an urgent rush to get rid of them. Trusting in the process, taking my time. This Muscle Burns Fat program that I'm doing, I'm on my second round of it now. 3-week program. It was 6 weeks in total, but it's split into 2 3-week blocks. So did it 3 weeks, absolutely loved it. So I'm now on to round 2, week 2 again. Absolutely awesome program. And it's because it's true, it works. Yeah, muscle burns fat. It increases our metabolism. If you watched all of my stuff from last month, got the ebook from last month, if you didn't get the ebook from last month, give me a shout. I'll ping that over to you as well, all about increasing your metabolism. Well, one simple way, not simple, but one massive way of increasing your metabolism is to increase your muscle mass. Okay, because if you've got more muscle, you burn more calories. Simples. Right, so looks like we haven't got any questions this week. That's cool. Pop them in the comments below. If you were watching live, if you're watching the replay, please type replay just so that I know where people are. If you're watching me on YouTube, you know what to do if you liked it, and you know what to do if you didn't, and hit that subscribe button down below to get notified when I'm on again. I've been me, you've been you. Thank you all very much for putting up with me for the last 25 minutes or so. It was a long one this week. Next week is, let's have a look and see what's the title of next week's little sneak peek for those of you that are watching this. A kind word has benefits for everyone. So we're going to talk about being nice to other people next week, which is a super important thing to do. Anyway, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy lives to listen to some guy from Torquay waffle on. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Hope you take something of value from it, even if it's one little bit. If you want to talk more, give me a shout. I'm always available. Thank you very much. Happy Monday, everyone.